Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anime Lounge Short Flights. I'm your host Lance, here today with episode 9 of Reign of the Seven Spellblades. If you've been watching me up to this point, you know that I am also reading the manga along with every episode so I can compare and contrast and let you guys know what is, being missed out on. Awesome episode. A lot of information going in on this one, and there was some manga details that was skipped over or rearranged. And I found that very interesting because there was some rearranging that just threw me off. Let's just take care of that for the moment. So the biggest thing was when they're going through the labyrinth and they're going to their secret base, the order of events happened differently. So in the manga, they meet Kevin Walker, the survivor, first, and then the spike trap happened where Guy got stabbed in the butt by those spiky things, and then they go to the secret base, and then they go to that merchant and go buy some food. So a lot of that happened differently. I think the spike trap happened, and then they ran into the barbecue people, and then they found the merchant, and then they got the secret base last. Minor details, it still worked out in the end. Everything was just fine. So either way, it was just a little bit of a mix up that I thought was pretty interesting. Let's go back to the beginning of the episode. Pete shares that he is a reversey with the group. He can't hold it back anymore. Everyone just needs to be on the same page. I thought that was great. So now everybody knows, and everybody is supportive, and they want to help out. Especially Katie, who wants to see him in dresses and whatnot. So that's whatever. And then Pete wants to continue getting stronger and fights Miss Cornwallis. That's Chella's cousin. Keep that in mind. They both have the blonde hair, so it's easy to know that they're related. Pete's not doing too great. He's not learning as fast as he could be because he really doesn't put up too good of a fight against Miss Cornwallis. Um, he still does okay, just not as good. And we come to learn from Mr. Rossi that he is getting better, but we just know he's just not that good. And Mr. Rossi, on the other hand, too, is taking a step back. He decided that he's not going to be in this medallion fight anymore because he needs to go back and learn the basics of fighting, and that's pretty cool. Some character development for him. It is same deal with the manga as well. So next, we're basically going into the labyrinth at this point. Katie gets the invitation to take over the secret base from Milligan. If you don't remember, Milligan was the one who wanted to mind control trolls, and she had an eye on her hand, and she was fighting Oliver and Nano, and that's when we found out about the Spellblades. More about her later. I'll get back to that. So they're going to her old secret base. She was given this base as I'm sorry for doing all this crap to you, kidnapping you. So go further your education on these trolls in my old place. So they're going there. Already went through the minor changes in the event there. One other thing that the manga did that I'm pretty sure the anime didn't, during their walk through the labyrinth, one of them, I think it was Guy, I don't remember who specifically, but one of them exclaims that Pete had another reversey change and he was a guy while in the labyrinth. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I wish they would have said that in the anime because he's a reversey, so I'd like to see obvious changes back and forth that he's switching his sexes or whatnot. So that was just something I thought was pretty interesting. Um, so they go through, they finally get to the secret base. And one other thing that the manga mentions that the anime skipped over was Oliver and Nano end up training for a little bit while food's being prepped. They still have their feast, they're still eating with all together, but while they're training, they discuss that the rest of the crew still doesn't know that Nano is potentially got the seventh Spellblade, and it's best that nobody else does know. So they're trying to keep that a secret for a little bit longer. So they're just making it known that the Spellblades are still important because we haven't seen much out of the Spellblades out of this entire season, even though that's what the show is called. So got to see more of that. Then they eat, and then they decide that they need to give themselves a name. And as we all come to learn, that they call themselves the Sword Roses because Nano, clearly had a thing from her old place, and that's cool. So they'll put their swords together. It looks like some kind of rose, and they'll call themselves the Sword Roses. And in the end, the anime ends with Chella's cousin, Miss Cornwallis, outside the labyrinth, being told by her follower that our crew is in the labyrinth and she just got done defeating a guy, getting a medallion off of him. So it sounds like she wants to go attack Chella and our friends and, like, I don't know, go take her medallions and claim some kind of higher reward for herself, make herself better or something. So we know she's scheming something and she's super sus. The manga doesn't show that, so I wonder how far ahead they're really skipping ahead. But it's all right. One thing that the manga also mentions that the anime skipped was another class that got, completely skipped over. Nothing too crazy. It was another class where Chella's dad and Miss Cornwallis's uncle, they're the same person, teaches another class, and there was a small flashback in the anime about Pete being like, "Oh yeah, I'm the one that read all your books and I loved them." So it was during that scene, but the manga elaborated on it a little bit more. And all they really did was make this type of soup that the father had made during one of his explorations. And I think the soup was called soba, Soba, something like that. uh, it was a little confusing and everything. I'm not familiar with what soba actually is, so I just read through it quick enough. But everybody had to go and make their own soba, and the winner was going to be whoever made the best one. So I wonder if they'll show that in the anime in like the next episode. But it was just something that was skipped in this episode. A little interesting, nothing too crazy. And that's it for this episode. I did read a little bit ahead, so the next episode is going to be a little bit more interesting. Milligan makes an appearance. She's not dead. She's not in jail. She's not locked up, whatever. So right away in the next chapter, she's making an appearance. So I'm excited to see more out of her. I didn't read too far, so I'll leave it till next week to get all that kind of information. So I hope that's enough of a teaser to keep you guys interested. So that's going to be it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. Let me know if there's anything that you guys think that I need to work on. If there's more information that you guys think that I could help with, just let me know, post it in the comments, and I'll take that into strong consideration. Every episode of Short Flights is brought to you by the Anime Show. So if you're not already on Facebook or Instagram, please go follow them because they'll keep you up to date with everything anime related. And if you're interested in where I'm reading this manga, it'll be in my YouTube descriptions. So go find it there and follow along with me. And then until next time, later, guys.